Hi everyone, welcome to the mountains and my winter weather outlook. Oh my goodness, it is so beautiful here. This is one of my favorite spots in the area. The Blue Ridge Parkway, the Peaks of Otter, the mountains, and Abbott Lake. We have so many trails, so much of a landscape to enjoy in the beautiful state we live right here in Virginia. These higher elevations can also be a place where you can see more snow.
There is ice under here.
Welcome to Sharp Top. I'm with my buddy Tom. Earlier this year in January, my friend Tom and I hiked Sharp Top on the coldest day of the year on purpose. So we're hiking in the snow with temperatures near and below zero across a snowy landscape. It's probably a horrible idea, but that's why we did it. How else are you going to know the temperature at the top? Some crazy folks like us actually love the snow and its tranquil beauty. This was the view from the top of the snowy landscape earlier this winter. I took these pictures and this video with my iPhone on the hike, and of course I took a thermometer.
There it is.
At the top of Sharp Top, which is nearly 4,000 feet up, I measured a temperature of 2 degrees below zero. By comparison, Lynchburg was 12 degrees. So on the coldest morning of the year, it was 14 degrees colder at the top of the mountain. However, all of Virginia, including the mountains, are seeing less snow than years ago. But exactly how much less snow? All right, before we show you the current winter weather outlook, I want to revisit last winter because you may remember multiple snow days with your kids at home. We did pick up 12 inches of snow in Lynchburg. That is the highest total that we've seen this decade. Danville, 6, and Roanoke, you measured 8 inches of snow. So, that 12 inches of snow in central Virginia. I was curious how that impacted the long-term averages, so I looked back about 60 years at our snowfall history, and I re-averaged all the amounts. So going back to the 1950s and 60s through this last winter. There is no denying the trend. In the 1950s and 60s in central Virginia, we used to average over 20 inches of snow. But look what's happened since. The last 10 years, we've averaged only 9 inches of snow in central Virginia. So this means that we are picking up about half as much snow now compared to 60 years ago. Another really interesting nugget, I took a deeper dive, a deeper look, going back to the year 1900. So the last 125 years, I could not find another 10 years that had such a low snow total as what we've just observed during the last 10 years. If you are watching us from Roanoke, this also includes you. I just wanted to show you some really impressive numbers. If you're a longtime resident of the Roanoke area, maybe your grandparents were here in the 1960s, look what we used to get. These were incredible snowfall totals. In Roanoke in the 1960s, you averaged 40 inches of snow for an entire decade. You might remember some of my analysis from last year's winter weather outlook where I was showing you parts of the Gulf Stream in the Atlantic Ocean. I discovered that parts of it are running 4 degrees warmer than just 20 years ago. This warmer water flowing into the Atlantic. The way that this impacts us, and we're going to flood the studio here with the Atlantic Ocean to show you, have all this warm water, and apparently I'm anchored down. That's why I'm not floating away. But the reason that this matters, the warmer Atlantic Ocean, is how a winter storm forms. As you probably know, it comes from a big low-pressure swirl. But this low-pressure area extends up into the sky. So this warm and humid air in the ocean is then forced to rise, and it goes into this low. This means that this warmer air is melting the snow. And instead, we are seeing less snow now, more ice, and more rain. Until this changes, until we see cooler temperatures in the Atlantic, this is going to cut down on the number of large snowstorms. For this upcoming winter, we're going to be in a La Niña weather pattern, though it's going to be a weak La Niña. So, what does that mean for us? Typically, during a La Niña pattern, you see a lot of temperatures running warmer than normal across the southern part of the country. This includes the desert Southwest and also into Texas. Where you're seeing the brown and orange colors on this map, this represents the overall temperature compared to normal. As far as Virginia, overall, yes, we're probably going to run a little bit warmer than normal overall. However, We're still going to be pretty close to this colder air up to the north, and we are going to see strong cold fronts moving in. This means we will see large variations in temperature. Specifically, when I looked back at the last 125 years, I found 12 years, 12 of them, where we had a weak La Niña pattern during the winter. So you're probably wondering what happened during those 12 years. These are the snowfall totals from those years. As you can see, we did pick up snow, but at the same time, there are no crazy snowfall totals. You're not seeing any 30 or 40 or 50-inch snowfall amounts. When I was looking for this upcoming winter, which of these winters most compared to what we've been experiencing recently? Because that can help to dictate what our future winter is going to look like. And these two I circled in on, the last two times we had a weak La Niña. For my upcoming winter weather outlook, I averaged these two because I think that's what's most likely going to happen this upcoming winter. Here's my winter weather outlook for the upcoming snow season. This is based on the weak La Niña pattern and also our weather history. I expect us to have large temperature changes where we will have some very cold days, just like we do in every single winter. As far as Christmas snow, I'm not that optimistic that we're going to see a white Christmas, so snow on Christmas Day is looking unlikely. We do, however, with this weather pattern, need to watch for the potential that we could see an ice storm, and I don't see one huge, large, monster snowstorm, but instead, this is a weather pattern that would favorable smaller snows. As far as the snowfall totals, we're going to make it snow again here in the studio, and I'll show you my forecast for the season. Lynchburg area and much of central Virginia, I have at 4 to 10 inches of snow, which is a little bit less than last year. Roanoke, I also have you in the 4 to 10 inches of snow. Though if you live closer toward the mountains of southwest Virginia, over a foot of snow. And if you're in south side, most of the snowfall amounts are near 2 to 8 inches. This is my winter weather forecast for the upcoming season.